For me, I find myself somewhat, to a certain extent, agreeing and somewhat disagreeing with this motion. The reason why I said there is a certain kind of agreement with this motion is because we're talking about neoliberal government. And Indonesia is a Pancasila government. We're not neoliberal exactly. So when we're talking about PKS, FPI, they do exist in any kind of neoliberal government in different kinds of form. So they are somewhat supported. Because neoliberal governments support the freedom of religion, support any kind of advocacy, it is supported. But if we want to take it into Indonesian context, whether PKS and FPI can exist or not, they actually have exist. Therefore, it is allowed by the country. It is allowed by the country. However, I find myself to a certain extent disagreeing with this motion because I think if PKS and FPI have somewhat become a bit too radicalized, therefore it would be a danger for the society because like you said, it is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika after all. It is about democracy, it is about fairness, and it is about equality. There is no hate speech, there is no radicalism, and we should support any kind of political stance that is taken by everyone. Thank you.
I both support and do not support the motion because sometimes, even though logical is very important to problem solving skills, but sometimes it takes emotional skills as well to problem solve the problem. And logical is very important to problem solving because it is how we survive through logic. But sometimes being logical is not always important. We should also remember that emotion is also important whenever we deal with people and real humans. Thank you.
I strongly agree with these motions. I believe that Indonesia is a country with Pancasila as its philosophy, that at its core it upholds that we should believe in God. And I believe in all religious teachings, they always teach us about moral values that we must uphold in our everyday life. Like the golden rule, like we treat others like do you want to be treated. And therefore, I believe that I strongly agree with these motions that we should teach moral values through religious contexts, especially in the country like Indonesia. Thank you so much.
When it comes about this motion, I disagree because I believe that every profession, everything that we learn from historical or any traditional subjects, it's also important and helping us building a community that is helping each other. So without each other, I don't think we can be complete. Sometimes we always glorifying like being a doctor, being a civil servant, tapi untuk diri saya sendiri, saya percaya bahwa setiap manusia itu diciptakan dengan bakatnya sendiri dan tanpa satu sama yang lain dengan bakat yang sudah diberikan oleh Tuhan, kita tidak bisa hidup menjadi community yang baik manusia. Seperti itu. Terima kasih.
I disagree with this motion because I think between vocational and then traditional academic, it has to be a balance. Vocational skills prepare someone, teaching someone to have a life skill that they can use in their career. But traditional academic like history and then language will prepare someone to know about their culture, know about our identity in Indonesia. So I think there need to be a balance between both of it because smart people is not only smart academically, but it needs to be a balance between life skills, soft skills, vocational skills, and then also traditional academic knowledge. Thank you.
Saya setuju dengan mosi ini karena dengan kejadian akhir-akhir ini banyak sekali pernikahan yang gagal dan merugikan salah satu pihak. Untuk itu, dengan adanya perjanjian pranikah, ini dapat melindungi kedua belah pihak. Dari segi harta maupun gonogini hak asuh anak itu akan lebih aman jika ada perjanjian pranikah. Jadi, saya setuju dengan adanya perjanjian pranikah sebelum keputusan pernikahan dimulai. Terima kasih, saya Nabila Putri Binta Ditama, Putri Indonesia, Bengkulu.
Saya tidak setuju dengan mosi ini karena saya melihat bahwa donasi dan amal merupakan bentuk dari kemanusiaan yang bisa kita lakukan dengan mudah untuk orang lain yang membutuhkan. Akan tetapi
kita bisa melihat bahwa saat ini banyak fenomena di mana orang-orang menggunakan amal dan juga donasi untuk keperluannya mereka sendiri. Jadi mereka membuka sebuah donasi untuk keperluan mereka sendiri. Nah, ini yang sangat disayangkan dan inilah yang menghilangkan nilai daripada kemanusiaan itu. Sehingga saya melihat bahwa amal dan donasi akan menjadi sesuatu hal yang baik ketika kita bisa menggunakannya dengan tepat dan tujuan yang tepat. Terima kasih.
I also agree to this motion because love can mean anything. And for me, in terms of relationship or marriages, to be specific, love is a true commitment where most of the time you have to leave your family, you have to leave your friends and focus on your marriage, because I truly believe in my morals that the family that I created is more important than the family that I come from. Thank you.
In my humble opinion, it is better to kill a very dangerous criminal to save many innocent lives, because it will reduce the crime rates significantly and becoming a safer place for its citizens. And I want to encourage you all to be critical about rules and always think about what is the best for many people. Thank you.
I firmly disagree with this motion because I know that it might work in some country. For example, in Korea, it might work, but in our country where we uphold democratic values, I don't think it works for our country. Because I believe that when we promote democratic values, we need to respect people's individual right. And doing this military service, we go against that. And I think us as Indonesian, our country, our government, we should instead use something else to promote the national unity. Like, for example, the community service that will help our country to unite. So let's uphold the democratic values of our country, Indonesia, while also bringing inclusivity and flexibility for a better country. Thank you.